There is something happening right now in the United States that most people have absolutely no idea about. Engineers and inventors have been quietly building machines that do what we all thought was impossible just a few years ago. We are talking about real machines, not concepts locked away in a lab, not drawings on a computer screen, things that actually fly and actually exist in the real world right now. Some of them are already in people's hands. Some cost less than a luxury car, and one of them is so simple to fly that you do not even need a pilot's license. That is not a joke. In this video, we are counting down 8 of the most mind-blowing personal flying inventions ever built. The one sitting at number 1 is a flying machine, born from American innovation, already being delivered to real customers as we speak, and it will leave you speechless. But we are not starting at number 1, we are starting at number 8, and each invention gets more unbelievable as we go. If you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button, because it takes a lot of effort to put these together. And subscribe so you do not miss the next one, because what is coming will blow your mind. Number 8. Volonaut Air Bike. When the first video of this machine appeared online, the entire internet thought it was fake. A man dressed like a soldier from Star Wars, sitting on what looked like a motorcycle, floating between trees with no wheels and no visible propellers. People said it had to be computer generated. It looked too good to be real, but it was not. This is the Volonaut Air Bike, and it is a real flying motorcycle. It was created by Tomasz Patan, a Polish engineer who also designed the Jetson 1, which you will hear a lot more about later in this video. The air bike is a jet-powered flying machine that looks exactly like the speeder bikes from Return of the Jedi. It weighs just 30 kilograms, about 7 times less than a normal motorcycle, thanks to carbon fiber and 3-dimensional printed parts that keep every gram of extra weight off the frame. It reaches speeds of 124 miles per hour in the air. That is 200 kilometers per hour, faster than most cars are allowed to drive on the highway. The most impressive part is that it does not use spinning propellers at all. It uses jet propulsion, which means there are no exposed blades that could hit a branch or a bird. That allows it to dodge obstacles and fly through tight spaces, like weaving between trees in a dense forest. A flight computer keeps it stable on its own, even if the rider has zero flying experience. It hovers by itself the moment you let go of the controls. You just sit on it, and it does the balancing for you. The price is around $880,000 US, so flying like in Star Wars comes at a steep cost for now. It is still officially a prototype, with a flight time of only about 10 minutes per tank of fuel, and it runs on diesel, biodiesel, or jet fuel rather than electricity. But the fact that it exists and actually flies through real forests with a real human on board is enough to leave anyone speechless. Now you might be wondering, what does a jet-powered speeder bike have to do with an invention from the United States? Fair question. This is just the beginning. It shows how fast personal flight is evolving, and it sets the stage for machines that are even harder to believe. Keep watching because number 7 takes us to a car company that decided to build aircraft instead. Number 7. XPeng X2. Let us head to China, where a car company decided that regular cars were not exciting enough anymore. XPeng is known for making electric cars, but a few years ago they created a separate division just to build flying vehicles. The result was the XPeng X2, a 2-seat aircraft that takes off straight up into the air with no runway needed at all. The X2 looks like a small, sleek pod with propellers on top instead of a roof. It flies using electric power alone, with no fuel and no engine noise like a helicopter. It has been tested in public flights in Dubai, flying over open desert with 2 people on board at once. It can reach speeds of around 130 kilometers per hour and climb to a decent height above the ground, all while being controlled with simple flight software instead of traditional pilot controls. XPeng has not released the X2 for public sale yet, so there is no confirmed retail price available to regular buyers. It remains a demonstration aircraft used to show what the company is capable of building. But the fact that a car company built a working two-seat flying vehicle and flew it in front of crowds is already a big deal. A flying car from an automaker is impressive, but a real hoverboard that floats with zero wheels touching the ground is a completely different kind of magic. Number 6 brings us back to something you have probably dreamed about since childhood. Number 6. Lexus hoverboard. For decades, an entire generation dreamed of one thing: the hoverboard from Back to the Future, a board that truly floats with no wheels. And the car company Lexus decided to actually build one. They did not just talk about it, they pulled it off. The Lexus hoverboard does not float by magic. It uses a technology called magnetic levitation. Inside the board, there are superconductors that are cooled with liquid nitrogen to extremely low temperatures, colder than anywhere on Earth naturally gets. That is why in every video of the hoverboard, you see white smoke coming from the sides. That is the nitrogen evaporating into the air. The cold superconductors interact with special magnets hidden in the ground, and the board levitates above them with zero friction. No wheels touching the ground, just pure floating, silent and smooth. To prove it was real, Lexus built an entire skate park in Barcelona with magnetic tracks hidden beneath the floor and covered in wood and dirt to look completely normal. They brought in a professional skater named Ross McGoran, who glided through the air, jumped, and even crossed puddles without ever touching the water below him. It was one of those moments that gives you goosebumps, seeing a board truly floating after decades of dreaming about it as pure fantasy. Now there is a catch, and it is a big one. It does not work just anywhere. It only floats over those specific magnetic tracks buried in the ground. You cannot ride it down your street or to the store like a normal skateboard. Lexus built it purely as a promotional project to show off their engineering skill, and it was never sold to the public at any price. But it proved something important. Floating transportation is possible with real, working science, not just movie magic. A single floating board is one kind of achievement. Carrying a small crowd of people through the sky at once is a completely different scale of ambition. Number 5 shows just how far that idea has already come. Number 5. Auto-flight prosperity. Most flying inventions on this list carry one person, maybe two. This next one is different. Meet the Auto-flight Prosperity Eye, a Chinese-built aircraft designed to carry up to 5 people at the same time, including the pilot. This is not a small drone with a seat bolted on. It looks and flies more like a small airplane crossed with a helicopter. It has multiple propellers mounted on its wings that tilt to allow it to take off straight up like a helicopter, then rotate forward so it can fly efficiently like a plane. This design lets it travel much farther than most electric flying vehicles, covering over 250 kilometers on a single charge. The idea behind the Prosperity Eye is simple. Instead of one person flying alone, this could work like a flying taxi, carrying a small group of passengers between cities without needing an airport. It has completed test flights in China and is working toward official certification, which is the process governments require before any aircraft can legally carry paying passengers. Because it is still going through testing and certification, Autoflight has not published a retail price, and it is not something an individual person can buy right now. It is being developed for commercial operators rather than personal ownership. A 5-seat flying taxi shows just how far this technology has come from a single person on a board. But we are getting closer now to the flying inventions this video promises. The ones a single ordinary person can strap on themselves and cross entire bodies of water with. Number 4 may